Jabber talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Jabber talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Miss Jabber, Miss Jabber, Jabber talk.
Welcome to the Jabber Talk podcast, and I am Jacqueline Malcolm, your host. And of course, there is always a pixie sitting right there on the pole. Yes, there is.
That was the whistling pixie in the room, in the pod.
You've got your eyelashes on. I've only just realised you look really pretty.
I'm practicing looking polished again.
Oh, of course. I'm going to go out.
Going to go out, innit?
Go out, innit? How do you practice being like 3 stone lighter again? I've literally gone up
on the tiptoes.
I've gone up almost 2 sizes. I've been sitting around eating and drinking up myself.
Yes.
But, you see, that is an adrenaline rush.
Your adrenaline rush, sitting around eating sugar.
Exactly. I have somehow made eating food. Remember the first day of lockdown, and I went out to do some shopping, and I came back with wine and fingers.
Yes, probably. That sounded like your emergency stash.
It was my emergency stash. And I had to go and do some proper shopping. But never mind. Let's not talk about those days. They were the old days, my friend.
The old days.
Why does it feel like it was years ago? The first day of lockdown.
It was, that's why.
It was in cat years.
Yonks ago.
Yonks. It was yonks
Remember
ago.
that word from the 90s?
Was it 90s?
90s or 70s?
70s. I think we said it at school.
We said it at school,
So I think it was 70s, 80s.
70s, 80s.
Yonks ago, my brother.
Yeah.
Yonks. Okay, so adrenaline.
It's a very interesting thing.
Right.
Yes. I remember watching a program. It's like a documentary sort of thing with the guy from Top Gear. I've forgotten his name. Him. And he was hosting.
Oh, Peter Frey.
You come up with these line names.
And if you didn't say that, somebody would say, you know, the
Peter
guy
Frey.
from Top Gear, Peter Frey.
And they were talking about adrenaline, and they were saying how it's different for different people. And so, of course, for him, his mum, going on a roller coaster feels like she's going to die, and that's her level of like it is with us. Most sense of people
we no longer go on roller coasters.
But for him, he said, that was just like he was just doing a walk in the park.
Wow.
So even though it's just, the same situation, yet their adrenaline needs were completely different.
Yeah.
And for him, he needs to be speeding around a racetrack.
Wow.
Nearly dying to feel that rush. So,
but why?
Interesting.
Because when you look at it, that the need for an adrenaline rush, and it always has to be that you're walking right on the borderline of life and death.
Yeah.
In order to get that rush.
Right.
Especially the more you do it, especially the more you seek it. That's why you have to climb the higher mountain. You have to jump off the higher bridge. It always has to get bigger and bigger and bigger in order to garner that same rush. Is it just an addiction? Because it's the same for drinking. It's the same for drugs.
Ooh.
It's the same for food. You have to have a certain amount, then you need more in order to generate that same level. So isn't it just another drug and another addiction?
Sounds like a viable theory. Maybe that's something you should do research on.
Right.
Because, yes, I think you're absolutely right. Because I have very few adrenaline rushes. For me, it's enough to, when we're doing the radio or something, and then pressing go, or doing a new experience that I'll never do new experiences that are life-threatening.
Right.
And so, but that's enough of an adrenaline rush for me to be doing that. Going to a new pub. That's
hilarious.
What's going to be on the menu? Ordering something new on a menu, and especially the dessert.
Oh, no. Too much risk.
Oh, what if it comes tiny? I remember one time ordering a quiche for a change, and I love quiche, but the slice was so small, it was I felt cheated. And so you feel scared to order something new.
Exactly.
And that's
especially if you're hungry.
My biggest adrenaline rush.
Yeah, but you see, you only feel that scared if you're really hungry. If you're not that really hungry, then you'll take the risk. Right. Because you know your belly's already full.
Yeah, you don't know.
So the people who are rushing, who are going for the adrenaline rush, is it that they have something that makes them hungry for it? It's a need for it. If I was an adrenaline junkie and I really needed those rushes, I would love to be able to do, you know, when they dive off mountains and then they have those suits and they're kind of flying.
Oh,
is it zorbing? Is that what it's called? Oh, I don't know what that's called.
But idiocy, I think it's called.
Is it free flying? That's what it's called.
Free flying.
Free flying. Yes, free flying. So it's like, I don't know. I would love, if I was that kind of person, I would love to fly. Right. Because they literally look like they're just soaring around the mountains, flying in just their little bodies.
Right.
But I have no desire to do that.
No.
The way I am now.
No. Or no, I wouldn't. What would I want to do if I was an adrenaline junkie? Because, I suppose people have considered it before. Well, their phrase would not be there. What would I like to do? I think I would like to try. I think it's probably similar, like a parachute jump. I think I would like to try one if I wasn't so scared of dying that way. I think that feeling of just floating
there
and being able to see a brilliant view, because I like nice views.
I do like a nice view.
I do like a nice
view.
Yes,
a nice view.
I just don't like landing on nice views.
I mean, but exactly. So my adrenaline junkie thing would be to go, to the Stratosphere in Vegas. Sit in the lovely restaurant all day. That's rotating. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
That's because we get a free gun, because at the Stratosphere in Vegas, in that restaurant, they have a slide.
Yeah,
they do have a fairground on top of the Stratosphere, a few rides rather, and one of them is that they slide straight off the top of the roof and then just look over as though they're going to drop down, but then of course the machine stops them.
Yeah,
but of
that
course,
time.
The risk, thank you. We've seen times when fairgrounds have gone wrong. So you could be the one that it goes wrong, assuming you see yourself plummeting down.
Yeah.
And you may be thinking on the way down, great, I'm going to sue and I'm going to get money. But by the time you've landed...
what you mean is your family's going to sue and get money.
Right? It's like it doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. Do you need... It's like, even when you're talking about going to space, like everything Elon Musk, I know I'm calling his name again. Oh my God, I call his name more than Jesus. It's ridiculous. But Elon Musk, it's like all the work he's doing to make sure that the general public can get into space. I've always said going to space, again, I'm not going to space until I'm done here.
Right.
In the sense of, I'm not saying that, I have to be dead first. What I'm saying is, if I get to a point in my life where I say, you know what, I've done everything. I've read everything I want to read for now. I've done everything I want to do for now. I've loved deeply and I've been loved deeply back. I'm okay if I don't come back here.
Right.
That's how I've got to feel before I'm going to take myself into space.
Right.
Because, it would have to have been going for a long time before I would say, you know what, I'm going to take that trip to space now, because now they've done their million trips and it's actually okay.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's what I was like with flying. I'd promised myself when I was growing up that I was never going to fly, because I didn't understand why. Why would I? Right. But it got to the point where England was no longer enough. I needed to be able to experience more of the world.
Right.
So therefore, do you see what I mean? So I think for me to do something like that, there has to be such a strong reason behind it. And flinging myself off a mountain or climbing to the top of the Everest in order to climb back down.
Yeah.
Because you only get to stay up there 30 minutes.
Right.
Before you've got to start making your way back down. It's not like you can camp out there for the day.
Yeah.
I don't, for the accolade of someone else saying, well done, no. And I don't have the need to get to the top of a mountain.
Yeah. And then there's also the other side of it. Because when people take themselves and climb up mountains or do these other dangerous things, and then they get lost or they get injured, and then other people have to risk their lives and spend their money to go and
Get them. And rescue them.
And is that right? Should they be rescued if they've gone and took themselves up to conquer a mountain that's already been conquered?
Right.
Many, many, many times. Should they be rescued?
Should they be rescued? Should, like, if somebody does, like, a free fall and a parachute jump, and then they get injured, and then suddenly they're in hospital and their parents are having to pay, remortgage their house and then sell their house because their son is now in a coma and they've got to pay for all of his hospital fees.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why...
This is in a country where we haven't got the NHS, but should they be treated, if they do it in England, should they be treated on the NHS when they willfully went out?
Well, yeah, because I guess that's why we have the free service. But I guess what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, are people who go for these rushes, are they considering, does it even go through their minds, what if it goes wrong? Who else does this affect?
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
Do they think that?
Yeah.
Or is it just a total, I don't care, I need this?
Right.
And so therefore, yes, should there be insurance requirements from every single person who wants, you should be able to do all these things.
Because the world is established because of people like that.
Exactly.
People who want to adventure and want to discover and want to do more things and, who have put their lives at risk, like the Wright brothers. The reason we can fly in aeroplanes is because they put their lives at risk and invented an airplane.
There you go.
There must have been many that went wrong that they still tried. But,
Exactly. We watched Aviator.
We did.
But yeah, it's absolutely correct. So I don't know. I don't miss it. I'll be honest. I do not miss that I don't have this desire for adrenaline, an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Life is enough for me, but that's not saying that puts me in a better place or that makes me better than. That's just the truth of it. It actually, it makes me fatter. It makes me a little bit, less in control of my body and my eating and my disciplines. So it works against me in that sense, but it is who I am.
Yeah.
And just like the same with them, it's their makeup. They've been born this way. They can't help it. If they don't, it's like when you see those young boys going around the streets on their bikes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they're, treating them like they're horses, and then they go in the fourth class. Because they used to just be happy enough to just try to ride their bikes. Not enough. Now they have to ride their bikes in the middle of the road to cause some kind of danger.
Yeah.
Now that's not enough. Now they do wheelies and ride towards oncoming traffic.
Right.
And then swerve right at the last minute.
Wow.
So then what is the next thing then?
Yeah.
What will be the next thing that they need? Because it's a drug and they need more. To get that same buzz, they're going to need to be doing more. But at the same time, these are the explorers.
Right.
They don't live in the country. They live in the urban city.
Right.
So where else are they going to get this adrenaline rush? They can't afford the equipment to jump from the top of a mountain. They can't afford that. So therefore they get what they're going to grab what they're going to grab. So it's pointless getting angry with them. They're born this way.
Yeah. No, it's true. I'm glad I didn't have a boy.
I've seen a few girls do it as well.
Yes, I know. My girl isn't that way.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, bless her. She's got the no adrenaline gene, definitely. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's it.
Well,
Extreme sports.
Yeah.
What have we decided?
I suppose that is their only outlet because we've conquered everywhere on this world, pretty much. Maybe some bits in the Antarctica need a bit more exploring.
Exactly.
And under the sea.
Yeah, so you can imagine.
Yeah, so I suppose it's always going to go on.
Exactly, and the people like Elon Musk are creating the next for the next generation of adrenaline junkies who absolutely are born for this.
Yeah.
They're born this way. They need this rush in order to feel human, in order to feel how we feel every single day. They need to jump from something and come that close to death. Right. It's the only way that makes sense to them.
Okay. So what they need to do is invent a drug, a tablet that they can take every day that gives them that rush Oh, it's called heroin, not really.
Or we just let them climb the mountain 10 times a day.
Because they're not expecting me to go out and rescue them. Because the people who are going out to rescue them are probably
adrenaline
junkies. And
there you
they
go.
get paid to do it.
There you go.
So congratulations.
Congratulations. We put the world to right. We put the world to right. We put the world to right. We put the world to right.